Hey everybody, how you doing? This is about to be a really fun video, but right here behind me, this is my 04 Ford F-150. Just bought this truck from my buddy Joel, I don't know, 2 months ago, out in North Carolina. Made some new friends, met my buddy Keith out there. Shout out to Joel and Keith, appreciate y'all. And we've been tinkering with this thing, fixing some things on it here and there, but the latest thing, the rear diff cover has sprung a leak. So, and it's bad enough to where I just want to go ahead and get it fixed, so I'm not worried about driving it, blow up that rear gear and end up costing us a whole lot of money. So today I'm gonna run to the parts store. We're gonna get a new cover, bolts if they got them, and seal that sucker back up. Let me show you real quick. So this sucker came from up north. You can see all the rust in the frame. The good news is somebody who had it previously already put a new tank in it, fuel lines, brake lines, so we don't have to worry about that. But that rear cover has turned into a leaky son of a gun. So gonna swap that out today and get her sealed back up, put some new oil in it. Alright, so I came down to here to O'Reilly's and they didn't have a diff cover, but I got some gear oil and some gasket maker. So now I'm about to run up over here to Napa, see if Napa's got the diff cover. They're cheap, I just gotta have one. O'Reilly's Auto Parts. Alright, so I went down to the Napa know-how, got some parts for the Ranger slave cylinder, boy, but they didn't have a diff cover. So now we're at the AutoZone and maybe they got a diff cover. I don't know why nobody in town has no diff covers for F-150s, but we gotta find one like now. All right, big shout out to AutoZone. Yeah boy, got us the diff cover gasket and the diff cover, which is in this box right here. Dorman diff cover. Here's the part number, 8.8 ring gear. Now that we went to 37 different shops, oh man, today is a good day. It's a good day. Life is good. We're gonna go slap this baby on. What I do need is the bolts. I wanted to get all new bolts for the diff cover. Just use new bolts. That was the gasket, not the cover. But nobody in town's got the bolts. AutoZone said they could have them by tonight, but I need it done today, so we get to taking those bolts off. We try not to snap half of them off, and we'll see how she goes. All right, now here's everything we're gonna need. We got the new cover there, gasket, gear oil, and some gasket maker, and we will be ready to party. But here's the old one right here. Give you an up close look. It's been leaking right here. Well, you can, if I can get it to focus here. It's been leaking out the bottom here past couple weeks. So we are gonna take these 10 bolts off. They are 1/2 inch. Shouldn't be too hard. We'll take all them off. Slap the new stuff in. Stick it back on there. And then over here on the other side, there's your filler hole right there. We're gonna pop that off. Then fill it back up with that oil and we'll be ready to party down the road again. If y'all aren't already subscribed to Heavy Metal Customs, go click the link down below. I'm up here at the shop today. Paul's letting me use his lift for this job real quick. Go subscribe to Heavy Metal Customs channel and tell Paul a big thanks. I'm gonna get to working here. Shouldn't take me too much time, just to whoop whoop whoop, and I'll bring you guys along with me. Real easy job here, unless I start to breaking stuff. But thing about this truck is it's got a lot of rust. I was telling you earlier. Let me show you the frame real quick. So now we got it up here on the lift. It's easier to see, but see how the frames eat up pretty good right there. Up there, a lot of it's gone. Yeah, but just pretty much all around this thing must have came from up north. Frame up towards the front's pretty good, but as we get back further it gets worse. But yeah, you can see how the frames just got kind of rusty. But like I said earlier, the good news is it's got a good gas tank, it's got new brake lines, it's got new fuel lines. So somebody did do some good work to this. But we're gonna swap this out, make sure she's got plenty of oil, so she's gonna keep us trucking down the road for a long time to come. And we're just gonna not hit any big bumps and snatch this frame off, because we need the frame. It holds lots of doodads and goodies. So like I said, first we gotta take this cover off. This one has the 8.8 ring gear, and that means it's got 10 bolty things. And I already checked, and on this one we're gonna need a 1/2 inch socket. So I got a 1/2 inch socket. And I was afraid that I was gonna bust a bunch of these bolts off, but I already tested a few. Gave it a few oogie boogies with these big old guns I got here, and a couple of them loosened up real quick. So before I forget, I'm gonna raise this leaker catcher up here, and then we're gonna start to cracking this off and then cracking the new one on here real quick. Be right back once I got the leaky catcher up here. Yeah boy. So y'all that watch the channel know I quit my job last week. I tell you what, part-time employee of Heavy Metal Customs, yeah, my boss just went up a whole lot better. But yeah, got the leaky catcher here. I'm gonna give her some cleckies lefty loosey on this Ford. Yeah, and piece of cake. So see how that wasn't that hard at all to get that loosened up. But I normally like to replace these bolts if I can, but nobody in town had any, so I'm just gonna try to be real gentle with this old girl, not break these factory bolts. Yeah, and then I'll clean them up and put them back on with the new cover here. But I'm gonna go ahead and loosen all these 10 and I'll be right back. All right, so I got all these bolts loosened up, and in the process I only busted one knuckle, so today's gonna be a good day. But before I mention it, I'm not some kind of crazy mechanic, but this job is pretty much novice level. So if you got some pretty much basic tools, just about anybody can get this job done. So don't be afraid of it. I know there's some jobs that are definitely harder than others and intimidating. Like we got to put a clutch in my Ford Ranger, and I absolutely would not try that by myself, because I probably break more stuff than I fixed. But this one, rear end cover, that's a novice level. Your grandma could do this job. Well, no, she probably couldn't have busted those bolts. I just loosened those bolts I just loosened, but you know what I'm saying. Maybe she could with some power tools. Anyways, back to the bolts. I got them all loosened up, so enough that we've already got a case of the leaky eekies, even more than it was leaking. So I'm gonna keep loosening them up more and more. Drain this out, clean it up just a shade, slap the new parts on, and we'll be ready to go. I'm gonna take all these bolts off now. All right, so now we got those bolts off. I always like to kind of make a pattern and put them back in the same hole. Maybe I'm weird, I don't know, but that's just me. But before I get to showing you this, let me show you these cars over here at Heavy Metal Customs. So this is a Mustang convertible, super slick ride that he's done up. If you make him an offer, he might just part with it. Real cool looking car. Custom hood scoop, flame paint job and all that. This thing looks real good out in the sun. And then this thing, this is actually a Mustang with a Mercury Comet body on it. Super cool. If you're into the old stuff, he's got a bunch of videos working on some old cars too. But if you want to see these builds, he's got a bunch of videos on both these builds down below. Go subscribe to Heavy Metal Customs. But back to this baby. Yeah, we're gonna pop this monkey off and make a mess here. See if I can get the camera going where you can see it. I'm gonna take this putty knife and go real easy on her. Might have to get a flat head here. But there we go. Oh yeah. No telling when the last time this was changed. I don't know, that oil doesn't look too terrible, but it's definitely not new. But we're gonna let this drain. Be real easy on here and get the old cover off here. Yeah, boy. Well, woo, you won't get your whiff of that. Oh, yeah, that smells real right. But I can see why it was leaking. The gasket's just gone here at the bottom. But we're gonna do a good job of replacing the gasket. Lots of that gasket and goo all up on there, so it's never gonna leak again. At least I hope not. But yeah, I'm gonna clean all this up. Then we're gonna slap the new gasket on and we'll be ready to party down the road again. And I'm gonna clean all these bolts up on the wire wheel before I slap it back on. Man, that stuff stinks if you never smelt it. But yeah, I'm gonna give you a good look of the rear end while we got this sucker off, just in case anybody wants to see. But yeah, here's what your F-150 rear diff looks like. As far as I know, this is all factory stuff in there. But gotta keep it covered up with oil or sucker's gonna blow up. So that's why we're replacing this today. But we'll clean this up, we'll be back, put the new cover on. All right, now I just hit all the bolts on the grinder, clean them up a little bit. Clean this up. Right here we got the cover, the gasket, and some gasket maker. Now if this was somebody else's truck or some $100,000 hot rod, I would take some power tools and clean that gunk off. But since this is my personal daily driver, I got all this cleaned up as good as I could with hand tools, and I think we'll be just fine. But got the bottom all cleaned up here. These little bitty rusty spots. I would probably be real gentle with some power tools and clean that up. Like I said, if it was somebody else's truck, but since it's mine, I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm gonna get that gasket out here, slap it on here with some of that goo, and then we're gonna press it up on there, and she'll be looking good as new. All right, now we got the goo on here. We got the goo on here, and we're gonna put it all together and sandwich it on there. I put this stuff on there. There. They have too much and not enough, I guess.
Yeah, it ain't gonna hurt it. Except for an engine. You doing engines? Be light on it. I've seen heater cores, thermostats, and things like that just plugged up.
I believe that. Get that started.
You watching him, Manny?
This is some of that professional mechanic stuff here, man.
That's it. Professional.
Ooh, that looks pretty on there compared to that old cruddy one. I was looking through my spray paint cans, looking for some kind of wild paint color, just to be goofy, but I didn't have anything. We pay attention to what I'm doing here now.
That should add at least 10 horsepower, shouldn't it?
Oh, I believe probably 20, man. Weight reduction too, got all that rust off.
Yep, yep.
But I'm gonna get these on here, hand tight, and then I'll be back.
Was that cover expensive?
Yeah, $18.
That's it.
Oh yeah, when you can find it. Now we got all these pretty much hand tight, and I used the. Let me bring you in close. I was trying to get some new bolts here, anytime I'm doing something and the bolts are cheap, I just soon use new bolts, but nobody in town had them. But they all cleaned up half decent on the wire wheel there, so I'm gonna finish hand tighten them here quick. Then I'm gonna get this wrench out. And how many Oogie Boogies you think this needs right here, Paul?
Oh, not much. Just snug them up.
The man said snug them up, and he's the expert, so we're gonna snug them up, not break them off. Righty tighty. Oh man, I'm gonna get the extension.
That's a nice guy. You need an extension.
That hump right there is getting in my way. I said it on the video, I only busted one knuckle getting them off.
No, that's not too bad.
There we go. My short extension's missing, man. If your toolkit's not missing tools, then you're not a real mechanic.
Especially the 10mm.
Yeah. Well, actually, I know I got that one because I used it yesterday. All right. We're gonna do some kind of random pattern over here. And yeah, after we got about X, Y, or Z Oogie Boogies on all these, we're gonna let it sit a while and fill it full of that purple stuff. So yeah, we'll be back, and when I'm back, we're gonna fill it full of oil. Don't forget to fill it full of oil. This sucker will explode like a grenade, man. I'm here to tell you. Ask me how I know about that. Yeah, now we got it all slapped back together. See how it oozed out the side all over there? After this, we gotta take this out, fill it back up with that oil we got, and we'll be ready to party. Let me show you up close what this is. Royal Purple Max Gear 75 140 with friction modifier additive. Alright, so there's a new cover. Now we got the filler cap right here, which I already broke loose and thought it was finger loose, but it's not. See the little filler cap there? Alright, now I got that cap off here, and we're gonna start filling the thing with some oil. It's coming out of there. And now I'm just gonna sit here and fill this up with oil. Yeah, and then we're gonna put the cap back in. Well, finished putting that cap in. It took 2 and probably 3/4 of these, so if you're gonna do one, you need more than 2. Go get the 3. A little bit left in this third one. But new diff cover, piece of cake. Anybody can do it. Appreciate y'all watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the WHOTEEWHO channel if you haven't already. Go down below and subscribe to Heavy Metal. We'll see y'all on the next one. Almost knocked over that jug. WHOTEEWHO!